How are you, class? Hope all is okay. Welcome to our first lesson on digital graphics designing. Let's get started. As usual, let's use my computer to do some work. Welcome to my virtual class. This is trainer Hezekiah. Now, before I go further, I expect you to would have downloaded the softwares. I shared links to different softwares. Mostly, the most important one is Photoshop. You should be having a running Photoshop on your computer. Go and check in my previous posts. You'll be able to find a link. You go there and you install. There are two ways you can do it. You can install directly from my link by clicking and you get to that place where my softwares are, or you can just use portable formats. Portable formats, for example, are lighter versions of the same software as I gave you. If your laptop is slowing down on the ones I've given you, then just come to Google, go on your browser, you get to Google. Yeah, are we together? I want us to move step by step together so that you are able to gain value from your classes. Everything I explain, I'll be doing it so that we are together, and in the long run, you're able to achieve the best out of these classes. So we were talking about the other way of installing, which is by portables. You just put in Photoshop portable CC. You have options. There is CC 20, 17, 18, 19, and 2020. I always prefer to use CC 2017. Yeah. So when you say enter, there are very many links. There are very many links that you can pick up this software from. All these are viable links. Just follow any. It will prompt you to download. If it is 32-bit, you will download. If it's 64-bit, you will download. 32 and 64 is coming in because your computer might be a 62-bit machine, 64 or a 32-bit machine. So you need a software that will run on your computer very well. Now, Photoshop uses very low capacity requirements. Capacity requirements, I mean the RAM, you need just 1 GB of RAM. The processing capacity, the number of processors it runs on, even dual core or even Pentium can run Photoshop up to i7. For example, my computer is i7, 8 GB of RAM, 1 TB hard disk. That's the latest machine you can have on market that can do the work the way you would want the work to be done. Okay, so let's go on. I hope we have already installed our softwares. For the people who are installing from our accounts, from our classes, this is a procedure. You come and say easyclass.com. You go to sign in. You come to your student account. Yes. When you come, you can go to your course. Yeah, we're together. And then these links, I sent links. There are links, you see Photoshop 64-bit. You just click on that link, yeah, and then it should be able to take you to where the file is. Now when you reach where the file is, you just go down, and not this first link but the second one where they say download 64-bit. So once you click on download, this interface will come, and then through this interface a download prompt will be invoked, which comes from somewhere here, and it asks you to save, and you say yes. But me, I don't need to save, so I'll just cross it. So that's basically how you do the download. After downloading is the next step where we'll begin after our presentation. So let's go straight into our presentation. This is the first, probably, and last major presentation I'll be doing in this course. In this presentation, we are going to look at so much to do with graphics, understanding really graphics more. Yeah, this is our presentation. Let me slideshow it so that we are able to see it well. Okay, good. So introduction to professional graphic designing from the Digital Online School, that's HIT, your ultimate online actual class provider. My name is Hezekiah. My academic qualification is software engineering, then BIT, and I did a couple of other computer related and graphic design courses at Greenbridge School of Open Technology. These are my telephone contacts, and that's my email in case you would want to ask me something or do an inquiry or share with me a file or anything as my student. So understanding 2D graphics, by definition, in a layman's language, it's just using a computer to communicate through illustrations, color combinations, and human intellect. Human intellect, I mean the creation, putting together pieces of illustrations, colors to come up with a message that addresses a cause. Yeah, by the origin of graphics, graphic designing is just a process of visual communication and problem solving through the use of typography. Typography is text A, B, C, D, E, F, G up to Z. That's typography, and other small notations. Photography is the pictorial bit of it, the pictures, the visuals. Then we have iconography. Iconography is the art of communication through icons or vectors. Think of your smartphone, that interface, the WhatsApp icons, etc. The different interface. For example, when you want to call, the icon you see of the phone, you know, you already, when you see it, it has more of like a book. It means you want to call and you're going to the phone book, and then you pick the call, and then on calling you see an icon of a phone. So as a graphic designer, you should be able to transfer such information into designs. Yeah, then they're also talking about illustrations. Illustrations are just simple 2-dimension, not photos, not icons, but vectors as well. For example, the signs of traffic, or the road signs for corners, overtaking, inclined ahead, meaning that there is sloping. Those roadside signs which, for example, it's a person, but there is a head, there is a waist, and the lower parts just in more of an illustration format, but you pick information from it. So for more information about the definition of graphics, the origin, and so on and so forth, visit this link down here. I actually already shared it in your class groups. Go there and get more information. Understand how best you can play with the graphics right from the origin and which value you can add on as a designer to be. Yeah, this course is designed so that it at least gives you the opportunity to bring out creativity, to align yourself with the current demands in graphic designing, as well as, you know, fitting within the trend. These days, graphics are taking over everywhere. Social media, on online trading, WhatsApp, everywhere. You need a skill in graphics to run there or even to make business from there. So this course has modules, and this first module will be looking at introduction to professional 2D graphic designing. We'll look at software installation. Already we looked at it. Yeah, the installation. Then understanding key design tools, and then understanding secondary design tools. Then after that, I'll be able to introduce you to Adobe Photoshop. That is the first module. The second module, we will be looking at coloring. We'll look at coloring. We will look at screen designing, lighting, and other polishing features. In this, we'll be working on simple 2D graphics like business cards, posters, flyers, brochures, calendars, among others. Now, these are some of the simple graphics that we need to have hands on. If you need it, have it done, improve what you have, even make money out of it. The more you harness your competence towards being able to accomplish such small tasks by yourself, either for money or for your own use, the more you become more productive as well. So let's look at the third module, which will be professional e-graphics. This is very, very important, as most companies right now have established their Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, websites, etc. as the major contact areas. What does this mean to you? It means that companies used to operate from known addresses. For example, HIT is at Upati Mazima Mall in Zambia. But right now, we are moving on to now operating from online, meaning that our Facebook, our Twitter, our website will be the new address where the clients find me. So it means that I have to learn how to play with my infographics so that even when I'm not there, when someone looks at my page, they are able to get all the information as if they have seen me. Now, that needs a skill. And text can't communicate more. What really communicates more on social media is pictures, videos, and much more. Text is just to explain or have a few things clear. But when you visit Facebook, all you see is really images, videos, and so on and so forth. Imagine such platforms with just text. You know, it would be something weird. So, not even weird, but people wouldn't even go to actually, you know, to visit them much more. Imagine if Facebook was like a book where you just go and see this one has connected to this without looking at them. It wouldn't be much entertaining. And now we want to train you so that you can actually learn how to transform these accounts, to improve them, to have more value from them, to be able to have a standard infographic appealing to your target market, appealing to whoever comes in and matching your business. So we will have a whole module on that. And we'll be designing some of these things with the correct dimensions, learning how to fit them in those pages, among others. The next module will be a continuation of module 3, where I will introduce you to logo designing and illustration. This was actually my first software I learned how to use. It was way back at Makerere University, and it is so good that it comes loaded with some illustrations already. For example, what you're looking at is a logo for maybe a farm or a ranch or something which has an animal. It comes already loaded, so what you do is just to change a few things and then you save, and then it's a logo to use. These days, logos and icons are important everywhere. Now we have different types of logos that we'll be seeing. There is a standard logo, which is a trademark for a given company, or it can just be a symbol of a given company. But within there, all the other remaining products have their logos. Yeah, when you look at Coca-Cola, it has that standard logo. However much these other products under them also have logos. When you look at a farm, a farm, it has their logo, but inside there, whatever they are packing, also they have logos on them. Yeah, each product goes out with its identity. So logos are going to be so important. TVs have logos. Almost each program on a TV has a logo. A TV like NBS has its own logo, but when you go to Debrief, there is a logo. After 5 has their logo, and so on and so forth. So that is very important that I want us also to take some time and get through. Let's carry on. Module 4 will be Introduction to Illustrator. As opposed to Photoshop, Illustrator is a bit more used when you're working with vectors. Vectors are large format or stretchable graphics, which Photoshop will do, but it's more tedious in Photoshop than in Illustrator. Then also it's more flexible as it has more functional units than Photoshop. In here, we'll be looking at designing for printing vis-a-vis design for electronic use. Those two things are very different. We even have different color selections that we will be learning how to work with. For example, if you're going to design a flyer for printing and another flyer for electronic use, you find that there are some modifications that you need to do on both so that both serve the same purpose very well. So I wanted us to get into today's program. After understanding the graphics where they are applied and the package we have, today's program was supposed to begin, or is going to begin, with recovering the Monday class, which is installation that we did. I'm going to introduce you to Photoshop. While in it, we'll look at the primary design tools. We'll also look at secondary design tools. Yeah. After that, we are going to go to the coloring bit of it, screen designing, and so on and so forth. We'll look at different tools and how they are used. And then assignment number 1, the first assignment shall be on creating an A4 elections flyer with a picture of a candidate and text on it. This will help us to merge a few tools that we would have learned and carry on. So after that, of course, the next class will be on Friday, and we'll be looking at more designing training in terms of using different tools. We have to make sure that we design each item as is. There are some items, for example, if you learn how to design a brochure, you've learned how to design a book cover, because a book cover is just a brochure without a third layer. Because it has 3, but a book cover just has 2, opens from the middle. So if we design each one of these, they could serve as a stepping stone for you to be able to design even those we won't design. So we'll also look at pull-up banners. We'll look at tool-based editing in our next class. So today, going a bit back, we are going to get introduced to Photoshop. We use a few of its tools. We understand the key primary design and secondary design tools. Then we also come up with a few graphics. Thank you very much. Right about now, let's get into Photoshop and we kick off.